everyone, it's Simone Watson, and today I want to sort of plan my week. Um, I've already started planning it, but just kind of talk about what I'm doing and the parts of planning that still need to happen. So, first of all, one of my big goals for this coming week. So today is January 22nd. It's Sunday and it's 3:30 p.m. So one of my big goals for this week that I hope to accomplish by Friday night is to finish writing my serial. And so I mentioned in a previous video that I have a serial on Kindle Vella, and it has 18 chapters so far, and it needs to have 54 chapters. So that gives me 5 days to write the remaining 36 chapters, which is definitely doable. And so if it doesn't get done by Friday, my really you know firm goal is to have it done by the end of January, which would be the following Tuesday. Um, but yeah, Friday would just be ideal. And then what was the other thing? Yes, I would like to substitute. So I am a substitute teacher, is like one of my jobs, and I need to substitute at least 2 days a month. So in January so far, I've done a half day. And so I need to either do 1.5 days. Like basically I need to total 1.5 days for the rest of January at least. So do like one day, one full day and a half day, or 3 half days, or just do 2 full days and get the whole thing out of the way. And you may be like, what? You really, that's how little you sub? It really depends. Last week and the week before, I thought I was going to sub more, but oh, I honestly like sort of wasn't feeling well for a little while, but I'm feeling better. So that's cool. And it really varies by month because like I said, it's one of my jobs, but I also am an author now, and then like I also run a social media site and recently started a Shopify. So I have like a few different things going on. So I wanted to talk about what I want to read this week because one of the things I want to sort of do with you is see how I can fit a good amount of reading into my schedule this week. So I have I went to the library. I thought about doing a library haul, but I was like, I have so many video ideas for this week that I don't know if a library haul is going to really fit in. Plus, I need to go live on Tuesday evening with somebody listening to music. So this is one of the books that I got. King Leopold's Ghost. It says a story of greed, terror, and heroism in colonial Africa, and it's by Adam Hochschild. I think that's how that's pronounced, Hochschild. So I have read just a little bit of the foreword of this book, and I really like the foreword. I got 3 books that are like nonfiction about history. So yeah, maybe I should do a library haul. But basically, this one I've started to learn more about jewels, and someone very wise told me that, or so someone told me very very wisely that like if you're gonna learn about like diamonds, for example, um, you can't really ignore the history of the diamond trade and the real atrocities that have been committed toward African people by European people in the um in the way that these diamonds and other resources were obtained. So I'm like, okay, so this is something that I need to know if I'm gonna like really understand the diamond trade. So I really, really like the foreword so far. It's very interesting. I would like to finish this book today, but I don't know if since I am this far in the book, we will see. We will see. I'm trying to see like what'll happen if I put the time in because maybe I can finish it tomorrow. We'll see. And then another book that I got that I haven't started yet is this one, One True Loves by Elise Bryant. I wanted to get some lighter books to break up the heavier books. So I'm like, okay, this book about colonialism is heavy. So if I need a break, I got a lighter book here. Um, and I might end up getting this on audio from my library's cloud, and then I would be able to like simultaneously read and listen, which is something that I used to think that I wouldn't want to do, but then I tried it and I was like, I actually like this a lot, and it kind of seems to help me get through the book quickly. So that's cool. So I've got those two reads, and I have an ebook from my library system. So we'll see what I end up finishing this week, but definitely want to finish at least one or two books. And hey, I can come back to y'all on Saturday and tell you how I did. So I'm just going to make my window smaller so that I can show you my screen and the planning that I'm working on doing. Okay, so here's the other thing. I didn't have a setup for my Notion for like the first couple weeks of this year. And so finally a few days ago I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like go ahead and do this. It was more than 2 weeks that I didn't have a setup, but now I have a setup, which is great. So what I'm doing right now is making an icon. I do not have icons next to these first 2 weeks, but I like to have a little icon because what happens if you create a new page? So I'm just gonna put sample. I'm gonna show you. It didn't do it. Oh, if I open sample and then I start typing, this is what it'll do. See, it makes a little sheet of paper next to that, and I would rather see a little like emoji. So I like to sometimes put an emoji next to these weeks. Um, so I will, yeah, this is why I have these Martin Luther King image tabs. I'm gonna close the Unsplash tab because I think I'm just gonna get one from Vecteezy. It's gonna be tiny, so you want one where you can kind of see it when it's tiny. I'll try this one. It says free, so you gotta download it. Oh, and here's attribution. This image is from Inyo Anyar on Vecteezy. So clicking download now. I don't always do this, like get a custom emoji. Usually I would just get a regular emoji from the emoji menu. But I'm doing something special today. Okay, so I just downloaded it. I don't think you can see that window. But this is actually for last week. And these days that say retro mean that I did not plan during that week and may have to go back and write something about how the week went later. So we're just going to open January 15th, week of January 15th, and custom, and then upload file. Yeah, like I don't think you can see these windows where I'm downloading and uploading stuff, which is probably good. Because I don't want to accidentally show you something that's like a spoiler or something. Um, so hopefully you can see that image. Let me click and make sure you can see that image. Yeah, so we put that little image next to the week of January 15th. And it just, I like to put a little emoji that corresponds to what's happening that week, or sometimes an emoji that has to do with a Bible verse that I read during that week. So for this one, I am going to backspace what we typed because I need to make this a template. Hopefully it'll let me make it a template. Okay, yes. So I made a weekly log template a few days ago, so I'm going to click weekly log. Boom. Yay. Okay. And I am putting week of January 22nd, 2023. Yay, this is exciting. And then I can show you what this template looks like by opening the page in full. Okay, so I have scriptures and then intentions, goals, schedule notes. Is there anything special about this week's schedule? Oh, yes. So there's an event on Friday night, which is why I think I know what I want to put as the icon here. It's going to be not a basketball. It's cute when they try to guess what emoji you want. I'm going to put a t-shirt because my brother is having an event, a pop-up for his clothing company on Friday night. So it's kind of a fun thing to, very much a fun thing to look forward to. So schedule notes. And then this is our challenge. I would like to fit in approximately 2 hours of reading per day. So that's our challenge because I kind of have a sample schedule already, but I haven't really put reading in the schedule. And then we have this week's projects. This is not really the most fancy Notion setup. Some people have fancier Notion setups than I do. This is kind of like I spent some time debating how to do it and wanting to do it perfectly. And then finally last week I was like, instead of doing the perfect Notion setup, I'm going to do a Notion setup. And then if I need to change it later, then I can do that. It does not have to be like, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be functional for me, right? So I can put this week's projects, this week's tasks, and there's a reading log here. Oh, captures, brainstorms, journaling. Yeah, I definitely kind of spoiled the reading log. But then this is a habit tracker, and it talks about iron. I am supposed to take iron, but I was very inconsistent with taking iron for a long time. So as a matter of fact, I will put this date because today is the 22nd, and I did take my iron. So I don't know how many hours of sleep I got last night. How many hours of sleep did I get last night? Maybe 7.5. And then what time do I plan to go to bed tonight? Hopefully 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh. I put 10:10. Hopefully 10 o'clock. Then how much water have I drunk today? I don't know. So this is just my habit tracker. Yes, I haven't really started using that. And then a log of medications taken. If I take, well, no, I'm definitely going to take some. So, and then this is my fun little reading log. Yay! And then I can make some reading notes. So, reading log is fun because I can put what date I've read and this kind of thing. I don't think I've ever, no, that's not true. I have logged my reading on Notion before, but not a ton. So that's going to be exciting. So we're going to look at my Google Calendar here. No, you know what? Where would I put schedule notes? Okay, I'm going to make a new page under schedule notes. Okay, more detail. So I have thought of sample schedules for 3 different types of days this week. So there is a full day of substituting, and then I would only be trying to do 2 hours of writing. And that would be 6 to 8 p.m. if I don't have something else to do that day. Then I have half day of substituting. in which case the goal is to do 3 hours of writing, possibly some prep before writing. I don't know if I think I've talked about this on this channel, that my new way of doing a writing session, if I have enough time, is to, like, if I have 4 hours to do a writing session, then I try to do half an hour of reading some fiction and then like 15 minutes of learning, like watching something that teaches me something about writing, 15 minutes of planning what I'm going to write, and then 3 hours of writing. That is if I have 4 hours to do a writing session. If I don't have 4 hours to do a writing session, sometimes I abbreviate everything. So sometimes it'll be like, here's a 2 hour session. I'll just do the prep work, all the prep stuff for half an hour and then write for an hour and a half. Or sometimes I can skip the prep stuff kind of, or it just like depends. Do like a 3 hour session. Da, da, da. So these, because I am really trying to finish this writing project this week, these numbers substitute, yeah, that is not the correct spelling, substituting. These numbers have to do with the actual writing time, not the amount of time spent in a writing session. So that's why I'm saying possibly some prep, but the idea is to have 3 hours of writing. Hopefully, if I do a half day, it will be a morning half day and not an afternoon half day. Because if it's an afternoon, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, and then if I have no substituting, then the goal is going to be 6 hours of writing per day. And it would look like this. It would look like 4 hour session in the morning from 8 to 12. 3 hours of that is writing. Yeah, so let's say 1 hour prep, 3 hours writing. Okay, then a 1 hour lunch break. Okay, so yeah, so for these other things, I don't know what will happen with the prep. And also a note is that dinner ideally is 5 to 6 p.m. each day. Yeah. So usually I have not scheduled my days this much. So it's kind of like I'm trying something new, right? So I'm going to go to Google Calendar. I'm trying something new, and then in other weeks, it's not going to be just writing because I also have to do some other things like design work and stuff like that. So here we have our example. I do not know what days I'm going to substitute because I don't know what days substitute jobs will be. Well, okay. There's gonna probably be substitute days available every day. There's going to be some substitute assignments available. However, there are like two schools that I mainly like. There are two schools where I mainly substitute. So I'm thinking that for the first 3 days of this week, if nothing is open at those schools, then I just won't sub. And then like if I haven't subbed by like Wednesday, then I may just go to a different school to sub on Thursday and stuff like that. So I just did this as a sample. So I have a sample of what each type of day should look like. But I already know that Monday, I do not plan to substitute, but I do need to help my brother with a project in the afternoon. So I put Monday as like just like a half day of writing. So put a writing session from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then in the morning, I have things to do before I start writing. So wake up. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of things to do, like do devotion and somehow have like a breakfast in this time. Although if things are if like I'm not done eating breakfast, then I can eat during the writing session and then I just have to eat and listen to an audiobook for the reading part. So that'll be fine. But oh yeah, our question that I didn't answer yet is how do I fit in 2 hours of reading during that day? So this would be dinner. And I will have half an hour of reading from the writing session. I'm not sure if I'll be reading fiction this week. I'm not sure if I'll read fiction in every single session or if I will read King Leopold's Ghost instead because I don't, well, we'll see. We'll see. So here we go. We have half an hour of reading here. And then I could read for another hour before dinner. I don't know what color reading should be. Can it be red? Let's make it red. It looks similar to dinner, but that's okay. And then just like do another half hour. So that wasn't too difficult to figure out. Yeah. Okay. Um. So okay. So Monday is an exception. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna check it off, I guess. Day. Okay. So fitting and reading. We're just gonna check off. I'm gonna scroll down. Did I successfully fit in some reading time in each day? Also, I may have to go without TikTok for this entire week, which to some of you that might sound like, what is the big deal? But like last week, I lost. I don't want to use the word lost. I spent way more time on TikTok than I was planning to spend. It was just such a distraction, and I don't want that to happen while I am finishing my cereal. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're not really planning Saturday right now. So I successfully fit in some reading time on Monday. Now let's look at Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday is the sample day of a full day of substituting. Could I end up not subbing on Tuesday and then subbing on Wednesday? Maybe. So we'll see. So okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the full day of substituting schedule here, and then we're gonna put reading. Put that in bold. Okay. Depending on the substitute job, if it is middle school, you get a free period. Well, no, if it's middle school, okay, this is going to sound super complicated, so I'm sorry. If it's a middle school teaching job, you generally get a free period. So that would be like 45 minutes of you not doing anything. It's also called a planning period because if you were a teacher, you would be planning stuff, but because you're a substitute, somebody just gave you what you're supposed to whatever assignment you're supposed to give the kids, the teacher gave that to you. So yeah. So that's about 45 minutes when I sub for middle school. And the two schools that I mostly sub at, one is a middle school and one is elementary school. So I know that when you sub for middle school as a teacher, you get that 45-minute free period and you get about half an hour for lunch. But you could probably say like 25 minutes because you have the time that you go to lunch and the time that you're coming back from lunch. Let's say like 25 minutes. Do I feel like reading while I'm at school? Maybe not, but I could probably do it. And then, yeah, so that will depend on the sub job. If you sub as a paraprofessional, which I've done, um, I don't think you get a free. Do you get a free period? I don't know. It just varies. It just varies a lot. I'm gonna say you could get about half an hour at school. Let's just uh, let's just say maybe 30 minutes at school. And then both of these schools, one of the reasons I picked these schools is because they're so close to my house. So the commutes are short. If I wanted to do an audiobook on the commute, it might be like 10 minutes each way. And then would I be able to read before school? Yeah, I can read before school. Yeah, I can read. We'll say 30 minutes before leaving. Yeah, we'll try that. And then you got another 40 minutes, so just say like 40 minutes after post-dinner writing session. I'll put 1 hour at the post-dinner writing session because I don't, and then get rid of the 30 minutes before school. I guess you could say 1 hour, 10 minutes. But this is kind of theoretical, and I should probably allow for this just not to happen if I'm too tired. Especially because if Tuesday is the day when I do this, Tuesday is an exception to the 6 to 8 p.m. writing rule because on Tuesday I need to go live on YouTube for Someday Social. So, and then I can do a writing session from 7 to 8 p.m. Do I want to write for longer than that? I don't know. We will say I'll say, yeah, this depends on energy. If I'm too tired, I can rest. And that should be fine. And then I didn't put something on Wednesday because Wednesday night there's church. And if I go to church Wednesday night, I gotta go with my brother, and my brother has to be early. So when he gets there early, then I can read while I'm there. Could I write while I'm there? I don't know. So that, I don't know. We'll see. Thursday, this is just the sample for what it would look like if I did a substitute half day. So I'll be at school, yada, yada, yada. Then I have lunch, and then I have a writing session. So we have 30 minutes during the writing session because that is a 4-hour writing session. So you're going to go with reading. Oh, yeah, they made it bullet pointed. I like that. Okay. Don't know why they didn't do that. Oh, because I didn't put a space. And then if it is a half day of subbing, then I don't have to write from 6 to 8 p.m. So I can read from 6 to 7:30. So that's perfect. That is perfect, perfect, perfect. And then put that in bold. And so what did I figure out about the... Okay, so I didn't figure out the full writing day. So if there's a full writing day, you got 6 hours of writing, which means your 4-hour session and your 4-hour session. So just put reading. and then 1 hour total from 2 writing sessions. And then just do like 1 hour after dinner. So for Monday being an exception, we have a half day of writing. Did I put some reading there somewhere? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's great. I scheduled some reading on Monday, which is the day that we know we have this. If Tuesday ends up being a full day of writing, then that would be wonderful. But if Tuesday is a full, if Tuesday, I'll put this. I don't know. I was going to say if Tuesday is a full day of writing, I could end it early so that I have some free time um before the live stream. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this as my tentative schedule that is not my actual schedule, except Monday, that is pretty much what I plan to do. And then the other days, it will depend if I substitute. So I can just move these things around and change these things and even come back and watch this video if I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing again? Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to make my face like this again. Thank you for watching. I need to probably get some rest and read, and then I have 2 more videos that I hope to film today. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope this was not too, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and maybe gave you some ideas about your own scheduling. See you next time.